Okay, this is Mike Franklin, 2001 Challenger2.com. I'm going to review the next stage of where we're at. You know, in previous videos we had reviewed the removal of the wings and so on and so forth. You know, from its location where I purchased it, which is in this building here, and I'm going to review what it is we did after we removed the wings. We transported the wings to the, put them in my trailer and moved them to the hangar. Here's the wings, and then the next step was we had to remove the floats. The floats do fit in the let me show you the trailer. This is the trailer. So I bought this 20-foot Hallmark trailer with a V-nose, and so the airplane fits in it, as you will see. So I transported the wings separately. Then I put the floats in there, and with the assistance of my neighbor John, or Dave, and his son Gordon, and my buddy Andy and Dave helped get these wings off. Couldn't have done it without them, that's for sure. And so let's see. Yeah, here's those floats. There's Dave, and we had to disconnect this cable, which controls this chunk of metal goes up and locks. What that does is it brings the wheels up inside of the floats. And the only other thing that we had to disconnect was this right here, which is the rudder, and that runs in and then back to the tail. Let me see if I have a better angle of that. I don't, but anyway, it ran from from the rudder up and then back. So it was part of the rudder cabling here. Here's a view of the floats inside of the trailer. As you can see, they fit in there rather nicely. They have to go on top of the wheel wells, but what's nice is the airplane itself, the wheels fit inside of these wheel wells, so that's not an issue. And I've probably got another foot left on the front, and I have about a foot and a half on the back. So that V-nose is really helpful because this airplane is pretty much 20 feet long, and it's a 20-foot trailer. So this V-nose probably goes out 2 feet. So yeah, maybe I have a little bit less of a foot at the front, and maybe a foot and a half at the back. But anyway, it fits in there nicely. We had to take off the other horizontal stabilizer. Let me see if I've got another angle of that. Look at that, I don't. But anyway, the other side of this here had to be taken off because that's wider than the interior of the trailer. It wasn't that big of a deal. It's like 5 bolts to get the thing off. What else is there to show you? To put the wheels on, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. They just went into this post here, and you pull those off, and there's a tube from the floats that goes right in there. And the nose wheel is different whether you have floats on or not. As you can see here, the nose wheel is still connected to the floats. And so there's another wheel that goes in there for. And the airplane is much shorter when it's on the wheels. There's no way the thing would have fit in here on the floats. I think it would have been too tall. But it has to be done on the wheels. So that's a ramification. What more is there to show you here? So we had to get the wings off, we had to get the floats off, we had to put the wheels on, and rolling the airplane in. I could do that by myself. I had one other person helping me to control the tail. It's helpful to have another person to make certain you don't whack the tail, but you can do it by yourself. The wings, taking off the wings, it's really helpful to have a number of people. But if you got used to it, you could probably do it by yourself. But you'd have to rig up some sort of something to hold the wing up, a wing support system, and it could be done. But it's helpful to have. We had four of us, one for each corner of a wing, to make certain we didn't damage the wing. But here's a photo when we pulled the. See the wheels are on it. See how that wheel is? Let me see if we can zoom in here. That wheel is very different than this wheel, and they're just little assemblies. Currently, it doesn't even have any brakes. But you can add brakes. You can either do drums or discs, whatever you want to do. Because he had it on floats most of the time, so the brakes weren't necessary. What more is there to show you? Like I say, it fits in the trailer nice. And the owner cleaned up the wings for me. There was quite a bit of bird poo on there, and I'm going to be detailing the interior of it before I get it to the A&P. But here's the wings, and here's the struts. So let me see if there's anything more to show you. Those, I can't remember if they're puddle jumper or they're Lotus. I think they're puddle jumper. Let's see, is this a connector where the, it doesn't show you anything. But anyway, so I now have this thing here at my house, so I'll be wheeling it out into the yard and finish up the cleaning, and depending on the weather, in a week or two, I'll take it up to the airport and put the airplane in the hangar and get the E&P working on it, see if we can get this thing flying. Gonna have to go through the motor and check all the connections, and probably a few critical connectors we'll want to double check. But it's looking pretty promising. We'll see what happens with the motor. But anyway, that's what was involved in getting the airplane and moving it to the hangar. Take those wings off, get those floats off, and put the wheels on. And I had to take the wings up in one trip. I had to take the floats up in another, and then I got the airplane in a third. So it took three trips. Conceivably, I could see that I could get some sort of mounting system to get these wings up on the wall, and the airplane would fit in between. And so I could carry the entire airplane, but I don't think I could get the floats in there. I think it would be too tall. So so there you have that. I'd have to perhaps I could put the floats in the back of my pickup truck. That's a possibility. Well, there you have it. This is the 2001 Challenger, and next step is to see if get the thing cleaned up, and then get the owner to or the AMPIA to fix whatever needs fixing, and then inspect it. Thank you very much.